Ah, it's wintertime, people, and you know what that means? Hunting and meat. Lots of glorious, glorious meat. Here, we were fortunate enough for a buddy to give us a couple of pounds of moose meat. First thing you gotta do is trim it up. Here, we're removing any kind of sinew, white skin, fat, hair, dirt, fur, anything. Make sure it's nice and neat before you start trimming. And you guys know what I do with trimmings, don't you? That's right. Eat up, puppy. Cutting your meat for jerky is a very subjective thing, very personal thing in my view. You got to know what you want to do and how you do it. If you have any questions on how to butcher your meat, look online. There's a bunch of cool videos out there already that go way beyond the scope of this discussion. I love butchering my own meat. There's a couple different ways you could do it for jerky, with the grain and against the grain. Here on the left, you can see where it's with the grain, and on the right is against the grain. When you do it against the grain, it just makes a tough piece of meat that much more tender, especially when you marinate it. It falls apart easier in your mouth. Yeah, he said meat fall apart in your mouth. You guys are a bunch of juveniles. I don't know about you guys, but pre-ground spices are boring, old, and way overpriced. Not to mention they're probably filled with a bunch of insect parts, human excrement, dirt, dust, etc. But that's a discussion for another time. Here we ground our own chili flakes, and we're going to grind our own pepper. I love fresh ground pepper, and lots of it. Every sauce begins with a base, and this time the base is soy sauce. Regular soy sauce, please. None of that low sodium junk. You're going to need the salt to preserve the meat. 1 cup to be precise. Next up for more flavor is Worcestershire sauce. That's another cup going on in there. And of course our freshly ground black pepper. I like 2 tablespoons. And now our chili flakes. This is subjective. I put 2 or 3 depending upon taste. All this goes into a nice zip top bag. Tablespoon of onion powder. 2 teaspoons of liquid smoke. And a tablespoon of cumin. At this point, people would add in the sugar component. Sugar will kind of give a little bit of elasticity to the meat and, of course, make it sweeter. You could add a couple tablespoons of honey, maybe a couple tablespoons of brown sugar. But in our case, carbs are the devil and are verboten in our household. Make sure you taste it. You want to make sure it tastes great. If not, this is where you adjust. Needs more chili, and that's exactly what we add. Now, pile the meat in. We want to make sure we take all the air out of the bag so we get good meat to marinade contact. This is very vital. So squeeze all the air out of your bag. Make sure all the marinade is on there. Stick it in a bowl so the missus doesn't get angry when it spills. And chill it for 12 to 24 or even 36 hours. You want to make sure that during the time it's marinating, you turn the bag at least once, maybe twice, to ensure proper meat to marinade adhesion. Oh, and you want to remove as much marinade as you can before the drying process. This allows it to dry a little more evenly, a lot quicker, and most of all, it saves from making one heck of a bad mess in the missus' oven. I like using these bamboo skewers to hang the meat in the oven from the racks, but you could use toothpicks if you don't have them. Preheat your oven to as low as it will go, preferably 150 to 160. Some guys, they even go up to 300 for 20 minutes, then turn it back down to 170, and then put the meat in. They say it kills bacteria, but we're all grown-ups here, and I think we all know that cooking meat is not drying meat, people. This is what it looks like. Pull the rack out, add on your hanging strips of beef tender. And make sure to use aluminum foil on the bottom of your oven. That way you don't make a mess and cleanup's easy. Did I mention I was lazy? Don't forget to put a spoon or something to keep the door cracked. That way you get proper airflow. Jerky is done anywhere from 3 to 6 hours, depending on how you like your jerky, soft or brittle. Or you can check if it's done by bending it, and if it doesn't break, then it's ready to go. Here we've got a little bit of everything to please everyone. Now you guys know how to make jerky. This will work with any cut of meat, any animal. Now you can go out there and kill your big game. And eat meat, lots of meat, people. Stay away from those dangerous carbs. Till next time.